I would like to ask you about South Africa and its three tiers of government. There seems to be an added layer of complexity in that sense, that you have to implement these kinds of decisions at local level, particularly in coastal cities. And how do you see that science policy interface? There tends to be a science policy interface at national level, but it is very hard to get that through to the local level. I mean, in some cases, there's a very good relationship, but it is challenging. Do you have some comment on that?
Certainly, I can give it a try. And I think that yesterday, Ashley Johnson gave us really, I found, a very helpful overview of the concurrent competency dilemma in the South African context and how science fits into that. And it is more complex, but it should not disempower us. The complexity should not disempower us. Let's go into that space of complexity and just think about what tools we have to facilitate discussion. So interestingly, I've been involved in some workshops at local government level that really are looking at what the blue economy opportunities are and what the legal framework is at district level. And how that relates to what is happening at provincial level and national level. And the interesting part of it is that we have tools such as the district development model that was driven by President Ramaphosa. I think it was instituted about 3 years ago, which the key message of that process is that we need everybody around the table. We need local, we need provincial, we need national. And certainly it is more complex. We are working in a complex situation, as we've said, because there's these multiple sectors. So not only do you need your provincial and national level players around the table, but you probably need a number of them. So you probably are going to need your tourism, fisheries, economic departments around the table. And of course, it makes it even more complex considering the budget constraints at the moment. However, we have tools. And I think what is really, really important is that we make sure we have the right people around the table. So the scientists, so your question is around the science policy interface. And the scientists can be providing their science and the relevance of that science and co-creating with policymakers with scientists and vice versa. What is the planning process that is needed at local government level, nesting it within the provincial and national processes? I think there is increasingly a call for, let's not look at projects only. Let's look at nesting those projects within the provincial, national, regional levels, recognizing that we are operating in a space where it's very difficult to focus only on local, without having influences from provincial and national and even regional level. And also focusing on systems and again focusing on these conversations with the right people around the table, with a diagnosis that is as clearly informed as possible by science, and with a set of policy options, open policy options that are co-developed by those that are around the table, that facilitate and enable the conversation. So it's a bit of a long-winded, winding response, but I think it's doable.
It is appropriate that it is long-winded and complex. Yes, so scientists become incredibly important in this context. So increasingly, as we have increasingly complex decision-making, the scientists become more important. And the problem is scientists are thinly spread, and they need to be maintained as well, and their research needs to be maintained. Professor Green explained yesterday, despite the fact that he's an award-winning scientist and he's doing essential work, that he doesn't have assistance. And in some cases, he struggles to get the equipment. But okay, there's some hope on the horizon there. But he was indicating just what a battle it is as a scientist trying to make a difference. I'm just commenting on that. You don't have to respond. Yusuf Adams says, regarding the need for independence of countries within the continent, are there ocean economy sectors that stand out, which South Africa could focus on?
Okay, thanks for that. Are there ocean economy sectors that stand out, which South Africa should or could focus on? So South Africa's ocean economy process started 9 years ago, 2014. That was, at the time, it was called the Ocean Phakisa process. Phakisa being hurry up. It was I would say, an important science, one of the science policy processes that was initiated it was initiated to drive an ocean economy and to conceptualize what it would mean for South Africa, to conceptualize what the benefits, potential opportunities are, benefits are, etc. 9 different sectors, if I recall. I may be wrong, but there are 9 different sectors. I hope I can remember them. Fishing, tourism. Fishing wasn't initially included, but fishing, tourism, maritime transport, maritime shipbuilding, oil and gas was included. Okay, I would have to, I'm sure others in the room can toss in the additional sectors. But what was also important about that was that it included the environmental sustainability aspects of the ocean economy. And that's where the marine spatial planning process was initiated. That's in fact where the marine protected area expansion process was initiated to try to bring this sustainability into South Africa's ocean economy growth. And I think that these are the sectors that are part of South Africa's ocean economy. There's now a master plan, an ocean economy master plan. I'm not sure whether it's actually been finally put out and published as a final document, but certainly there was an extensive consultation process with all stakeholders around the room. And that master planning process was initiated about 2 years, maybe 3 years ago, and really focused on what needs to be done in the next 3, 5, and 7 years to grow South Africa's ocean economy. Some of the transboundary issues that relate to South Africa's ocean economy, well, there are many. I mean, shipping and maritime it's transboundary by nature. Fishing, there are transboundary considerations there. Marine protected areas, there are transboundary considerations there. Ocean cables, I mean, many of our sectors are transboundary. So really, I think just putting on the table the importance of building in that transboundary layer of discussion in our marine spatial planning process and in our ocean economy.